Show starts in 5 minutes.
Good evening, folks, and a hearty welcome to our drive-in theater. We have a wonderful evening's entertainment lined up for you, one that will provide several hours of pleasurable relaxation and diversion for you and your family. Did you fail to dress up for tonight's show? No tie, an old shirt and slacks, a house dress? Well, don't give it a thought. We're glad you came as you are. We just want you to enjoy yourselves.
Here's a new taste treat. The corn dog. Plump, juicy wieners are dipped in a thick, golden Southern-style corn batter that seals in all their freshness and flavor. If you like hot dogs, you'll love corn dogs. Everybody does. Try a corn dog with your favorite beverage. At the refreshment corner now. Corn dogs.
It's 4 minutes till showtime.
Yum, yum. It's time for a tasty and refreshing snack. We promise to satisfy your hunger, your thirst, your sweet tooth. So visit our refreshment center now. Let's go!
It's 3 minutes till showtime.
Men, there's a drive-in movie full of juicy people. Wow! It's a trap! Help! It's Pick! We've had it, men.
A pleasant aroma for you, but not for mosquitoes. Pick is easy to use. Light it and forget it. Pick's aroma keeps mosquitoes, gnats, and sandflies away. Pick is the best protection for barbecues, fishing and camping trips, or just relaxing in the yard.
So if you don't want our company ever anywhere, just light Pick and see what I mean? Bye!
Pick is on sale at the refreshment stand now. Show starts in 2 minutes.
Today we're interviewing a stomach.
Hello there.
What is life like as a stomach?
Oh, boy, it was humdrum. I mean, until what's-his-name discovered Tony's Pizza.
Tony's Pizza?
Yeah, I was suffering from the pizza cravings until Tony's came along. Crispy crust and zesty sauces. Wow.
And so now... What's that?
Another pizza craving. Just thinking about Tony's sets it off.
Oh, where are you going?
He's going to get a Tony's Pizza, and I follow him anywhere.
Does your stomach send you pizza craving signals? Oh, wow. Tony's, the Pizza Cravers Pizza.
There are words men live by, words of strength, of wisdom, and of peace. We urge you to find the spiritual comfort and guidance we all so greatly need by attending your place of worship regularly.
Show starts in 1 minute.
Yum, yum. It's a meal in itself. Our all-meat super dog. Enjoy one now.
And now, on with the show.
hello there, everybody. There I am. Welcome back to the movie quiz. I'm your host, Chris Mann Nelson, and in just a few minutes, you and I will be embarking together on a trivia odyssey through 50 points of puzzles, trivia, all kinds of stuff. Tonight is the beginning of season number 13 for the movie quiz, which is going to be a we have 13 players? That is perfect. That is poetic. This is the beginning of never mind. It was poetic. It was beautiful. But I think one of them might be a double. I think someone might have signed up twice, so it might be actually 13. Either way, this is the beginning of season 13. This season, if you didn't see what I posted on Instagram, this season's going to span like the whole summer and into September. It's going to be 4 mini seasons of 3 games apiece, like we did with the last season. Each mini season is going to be self-contained with its own standings. The standings will reset because I don't have for the summer. My in-person game is scaling back to just the last weekend, the last Wednesday of the month. So the first 3 weekends of the month will be TMQ at normal time. When we get to September, we'll see what happens. But then it will all culminate in the championship game, which will be the 150th TMQ game and also the 5th anniversary. It will be the 5th anniversary of TMQ. It'll be one day after we started. I think if I check my dates, I think it was September 23rd, and the championship will be on the 24th. So 5th anniversary championship, all of that stuff, that's going to be happening in September. But let's have fun over the summer. Let's get started. Tonight's game is going to be all about. This needs to go away. There we go. Tonight's game is all about the number 13. That'll have different connotations, different meanings. First of all, let's put it into in-game mode. There we go. Goodbye. We're back. All right. So tonight's game is all about number 13 because we're kicking off our 13th season, and we do actually have 13 players in the game, I believe. So our first round is called Extremely Specific Parental Guidance is Advised. It's all about, so every question in this round is going to be multiple choice, and it's going to be, all of the options are going to be real reasons why movies were rated PG-13, but you have to pick the right reasons why the movie that you're asked for is rated PG-13. All right. So all of these are going to be real and real weird. All right. So question number 1, Batman Returns is rated PG-13 for macabre humor, brooding dark violence, intense sequences of bat attacks and brief language, or nonstop ninja action. Which one is the real from the end? These are all real MPAA rulings, but which one of them applies to? They're all reasons why a movie got a PG-13, but which one is the reason why Batman got the PG-13? Batman Returns specifically. How's everybody been? How long? It hasn't been that long. A couple weeks. Good couple weeks. It's been a long time since we've done a season now. Sometime last year. All right. I see everybody. I see people asking for stuff. What they want for the championship this year, or I guess for the mini championships too. I'll see about. I did buy a physical Yaddle card, but it never arrived in the mail. I bought it off eBay and it just kind of vanished. All right. So the reason Batman Returns was rated PG-13 was for brooding dark violence. Addams Family Values was the macabre humor. The movie Bats was the intense sequences of bat attacks, and nonstop ninja action was 3 ninjas knuckle up. That's what those came from. All right. Question number 2. Mean Girls 2004 is rated PG-13 for, is it salty language and innuendos, some thematic elements and a rude gesture, sexual content, language, and some teen partying, or irreverent humor throughout? Once again, these are all real. Real rulings. And I had a shout out. I want to shout out. I did a lot of this research myself, but there was a list on IMDb that I got a fair amount from user Brian1951. So thank you, Brian1951. That list helped me find a fair amount of these, but a lot of them I just kind of. A lot of them are disappointing. I got to tell you, I was disappointed in some of them when I thought like they'd be funny, but it was just like language and violence, nothing specific. I thought like, well, there is a movie later that will come up. All right, so Mean Girls is rated PG-13 for sexual content, language, and some teen partying. Just some teen partying. The salty language is grumpier old men. The rude gesture is from Minari, the movie about the Korean family, and irreverent humor throughout is Simpsons. Is the Simpsons movie. All right, question number 3. Twister, 1996, the original Twister, is PG-13 for intense depiction of very bad weather, disaster-related peril and violence, nudity, sensuality, and brief language, disaster-related peril and gore, or intense depiction of urban disaster and related injuries. Which one is what? Which set of reasons got Twister, the original Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt classic? And I say that unironically. Love that shit. Love Twister. Only watched part of Twisters. It was fine. All right, so the reason Twister got that rating, this is one where don't overthink it too much. It's just intense depiction of very bad weather. Intense depiction of very bad weather. The other ones, the disaster-related peril and nudity and sensuality, that's Titanic. Disaster-related peril and gore is Dante's Peak. And the other one is Volcano, the Tommy Lee Jones Volcano movie called Volcano. All right. Question number 4. Alien vs. Predator is rated PG-13 for pervasive adventure violence and some partial nudity, intense sequences of destruction, mayhem, and creature violence, intense sequences of sci-fi action violence, brief sexual humor and language, or violence, language, horror images, slime, and gore. Which one of these? There's one key word in one of these that should give it away. Maybe not give it away, but kind of tip its hand. And yeah, maybe it's a little harder maybe than the first round normally is. Yeah, the Alien versus Predator is it's fairly tame, if memory serves. I haven't watched it in a very long time. All right, but the one that I think might have tricked people is the creature violence, but that's actually Godzilla from 2014. The word that I was saying that hopefully would tip you off is slime. Slime from the it's the slime and gore, the slime from the xenomorphs. Good, yes, most people got the horror images, slime and gore. The pervasive adventure violence is from The Mummy. The other one's from Godzilla. And the other one, intense sequences of sci-fi violent action, brief sexual humor, that's from Transformers. All right, question number 5. The Fugitive, 1993, is rated PG-13 for a murder and other action sequences in an adventure setting, violence, some disturbing images, thematic material, and language, intense sequences of violence and action, some sensuality and language, or intense sequences of violence and action, language, and a brief sexual situation. Which those last two are very similar. Which one is the reason that The Fugitive got slapped with a PG-13. Originally, I thought of doing a PG-13 round that was like the two F-bombs that that a movie used, but apparently that's a myth. It's not really a hard and fast rule. It's kind of apocryphal that you're allowed, or I guess you're allowed one F-bomb. All right, so one of these is from $1 Million Baby, one's from Mission Impossible 3, and one's from Live Free or Die Hard. But the one that is from The Fugitive, hopefully it gave you away that it's a murder, just a single murder, and an adventure setting. Okay, interesting. Brief sexual situation. I don't remember any sexual situations in The Fugitive unless you count the tension between Tommy Lee Jones and Harrison Ford. What the fuck is outside? That's my one F-bomb. I'll get the R. All right, question number 6. Avatar is rated PG-13 for intense epic battle sequences and frightening images, jungle adventure terror and brief strong language, intense epic battle sequences and warfare, sensuality, language, and some smoking, or intense sequences of frenetic violence and menace, disturbing images, and some sensuality. A lot of sensuality in these PG-13 movies. And I know if this is hard, if this is a tough round, ironically, the puzzle round I think is the easy round tonight. So it's all backwards. It's 13, man. Shit gets wild. All right, so Avatar. One of these is Congo, Jungle Adventure Terror. That's from Congo. Intense epic battle sequences is from Return of the King. And the other one, the intense sequences of frenetic violence and menace, disturbing images, and some sensuality. That is Mission Impossible. It's the one with smoking in it. The smoking really set them. There we go. Most people got that one. Smoking is in Avatar. All right. Question number 7. The Monuments Men is rated PG-13 for drug content, some sensuality, and war violence. Language including sexual references and some rear nudity, some images of war violence and historical smoking, or mature theme, some images of violence and a body puppet show. Which one of those applies to Monuments Men, the George Clooney film? Alrighty. Wait, did I not start? I didn't start the actual timer. There we go. I'll start the timer in real life. I started it on the show, on the stream. Wait, what's going on? Did it not work? Let's see what's going on. Is it freezing up on me and being stupid again? I hope not. All right, hang on. Internet's being goofy again. All right, so I'm gonna reveal it. Wait, well, let's see what's going on. Yeah, I use the word triskaidekaphobia in this quiz a couple times, and I definitely misspelled it. All right, so let's lock this in. There we go. All right, so one of these, the mature theme, images of violence and a body puppet show. That's from the movie Jefferson in Paris, where Nick Nolte plays Thomas Jefferson. Drug content is from sensuality and war violence. That's from Forrest Gump. And the one with the rear nudity, that's Mr. Deeds. The one with the, again, smoking was the clue. Historical smoking was the giveaway for Monuments Men. Some images of war violence and historical smoking. All right, and let's see. Doesn't want to work. Hang on, everybody. Trying to get this to having a little connectivity issue again, which I did last time. Hang on, let me work on this for a second. Cool. I think we're all right. We'll see. Hopefully this doesn't happen. It's not. This is a brand new laptop, so I don't know what is going on. Why it doesn't want to work? It doesn't. It's the website though. It's my internet. All right, give me 2 seconds, gang. I'll be right back. Okay. Now I'm back. I think I don't know why it doesn't want me doing the show for some reason. All right, so let me just pull my let me get this back up here, find the right slide for y'all, and we'll do the last question of the round. All right, our last question of the round. Rollerball 2002, the remake, is rated PG-13 for thematic material involving perilous activity, some sexuality, language, and drug material, violence, nonstop action sequence, sensuality, drug content and language, drug and alcohol content, sexuality, violence, language, and reckless behavior, all involving teens, violence, extreme sports action, sensuality, language, and some drug references. Which one is it? All right, last time this happened, rebooted, came back better than ever, and was fine for the rest of the game. I think maybe I just need to reboot from the jump when I connect to the website before I connect to these websites. I'm also willing to blame Chrome. I should probably be running something other than Chrome. Alrighty, so one of these is from Point Break, the remake. One of them is from the Vin Diesel XXX movie, and one is from Lords of Dogtown. That's the one that's all teens. All of it's with teens. But this one is hopefully the Extreme Sports. The Extreme Sports line. Good. Everybody got that one. Excellent. All right, so let's take a look at our scores and standings here after one round. Actually, because we had a little hiccup, let's skip it. We'll check it out in a little bit. Let's jump right into our picture round. All right. So this one is very straightforward. It's just 8 movies with 13 somewhere in the title. 13, the number 13 spelled out. I believe that I've programmed it in a way that will keep it from sometimes when we've done numbers in the past, it's created issues, but hopefully not. So just take note of the order. I'm going to put 4 minutes on the clock, and good luck, everybody. Clock starts now. You got about 2 minutes left. You got about 2 minutes left for this one. Whoops. Got about a minute left. A little under a minute for this one. All right, my friends, it is just about time to start that timer. So if you haven't submitted or you want to change anything, now would be the time to do it. You got 15 seconds. You can resubmit if you want. All right, just about out of time. So let's take a look at our answers here. Let's take a look at our movies. How do I make myself small? No, I want to be tiny. All right. So that first one, that is 13 Ghosts. The second one, of course, is Ocean's 13. The third one is Assault on Precinct 13. Assault on Precinct 13 is your third one. Your fourth one is 13 going on 30. Then for number 5, this one was a little bit tough, but hopefully you could see up in the corner. It says Coppola. This was Francis Ford Coppola's first movie working for Roger Corman. It's Dementia 13. Dementia 13. 6 is just called 13. It's about the rebellious young woman who's 13 years old. The other one, the 7th one, is the 13th Floor. It was another one of those reality is not what it seems, but it came out at the same time as The Matrix, so nobody saw it. And the last one with Antonio Banderas, it's a remake, or not a remake, excuse me, an adaptation of the Michael Crichton book Eaters of the Dead, and it is The 13th Warrior. The 13th Warrior is the last one. So you've got 13 Ghosts, Ocean 13, Assault on Precinct 13, 13 going on 30, Dementia 13, 13th Floor, and the 13th Warrior. All right, before we go look at our scores, let's do the lightning round. All right, see, I spelled it wrong. I think I spelled it right here. Triska. So this one is called Triskaidekaphobic History. So this is all about movies that, well, I'll just read it to you. Why am I going to explain it? Let's just do it. Name the following 4 films with 13 or 13 spelled out in the title that dramatized these real life events. The first one is a Ron Howard film about an ill-fated NASA mission. The second one is a Michael Bay film about a 2012 attack on U.S. facilities in Libya. The third one is a Kevin Costner film about the Cuban Missile Crisis. And the fourth one is another Ron Howard film about a boys' soccer team trapped in a cave in Thailand. All right, so I'm going to give you, let's say 90 seconds. I'll give you a minute and a half for this one. Think it over. Order doesn't count, but try to put them in the right order if you can. But it doesn't. It ultimately for this one does not matter. All right. So you got clock is ticking. All right, gang. It's just about time for me to start the timer. So you got 15 seconds to get your answers in or change them. Oh, what is happening outside? What a banging going on up there. I don't know if you guys can hear that. right, time is just about up for one. So let's go over your answers. You had two Ron Howard movies in here, which was kind of crazy. The first one, the Ron Howard movie, the first one from 1995, that's of course Apollo 13. The Michael Bay movie is about Benghazi, and it is called 13 Hours, the soldiers of Benghazi. But if you just wrote 13 Hours, that's fine too. The Cuban Missile Crisis one is 13 Days, and 13 Lives is the other one about the cave-in Thailand. All right, so let's take a look at our scores and standings here. We got How Am I Going to Be an Optimist with 3, Trivia Yas with 8, Luna Tunes with 11, Stallone in the Backyard and Oslo Condition with 13, Sterling Cooper and Chris the Curator with 14 apiece, Powder and Avis and Bobo with 15 apiece, Han Still Solo with 16, and Marley's Chains with 18. All right, so that brings us to the puzzle round. The puzzle round, I teased this a little bit. We're going to be talking about unlucky characters. And so this one is just basically, I've written a limerick about a character who has had bad luck, usually over the course of a series of films where they just keep having bad shit happen to them or unlucky things. So just name the character for all of these. All right, so here is your first limerick. Deadly extraterrestrial drones wouldn't leave this poor woman alone. Everywhere she would travel, her life would unravel, and even in death, she got cloned. So who is that unlucky character? Deadly extraterrestrial drones wouldn't leave this poor woman alone. Everywhere she would travel, her life would unravel, and even in death, she got cloned. No idea what is happening out there. I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, character for all these. Sorry if that wasn't clear. All right. So the drones that I'm talking about, they're the xenomorphs. And they just follow her everywhere, and she couldn't even get peace in death. It's Ellen Ripley. Ellen Ripley is your answer for this one. Ripley is also perfectly acceptable. Question number 2. Oh, wait. Something got messed up. I messed up the order on these. There we go. All right. This Queen's kid's a magnet for villains. The odds are like 1 in a billion. From his teachers to bros, everyone that he knows will eventually try to kill him. What character am I talking about? Sorry, I programmed the slides wrong. This is actually number 2. This Queen's kid's a magnet for villains. The odds are like 1 in a billion. From his teachers to bros, everyone that he knows will eventually try to kill him. Oh, it's fireworks. It's fireworks outside. I thought it might be. Because the repetitive percussiveness kind of sounded like fireworks, but I couldn't think on it. What is today? All right. So who is this unlucky kid from Queens who just everyone turns into a villain? His friend, his friend's dad, his fucking teachers and professors. It's Peter Parker, Spider-Man. He's just everyone turns into a scientific freak and tries to kill him. All right. Question. No, wait. Now I got to go back. Okay. Because I messed this up. For all his, this is actually number 3. Ignore that. For all his success betting ladies, this guy has relationship rabies. From Tracy to Vesper, when he makes a gesture, his girlfriends all end up in Hades. Who is this character? Who's unlucky in love? For all his success betting ladies, this guy has relationship rabies. From Tracy to Vesper, when he makes a gesture, his girlfriends all end up in Hades. All right. So who is this guy? He's unlucky. He's sexually lucky, but in love, not so much. It's Bond, James Bond. He's anytime he gets close to a lady, she dies terribly. All right. Now we're actually up to question number 4. There once was a squirrel so forlorn, slipping, falling, and then going airborne. He just can't catch a break in his Arctic landscape. Come on, man. He just wants an acorn. There once was a squirrel so forlorn, slipping, falling, and then going airborne. He just can't catch a break in his Arctic landscape. Come on, man. He just wants an acorn. Who am I talking about? Yes, he does also go to space, as somebody pointed out. I need his name. I need it. He. I'm guessing it does have a name. All right, time is just about up for this question. People were on, they knew it's the Ice Age squirrel thing, the Ice Age motherfucker, someone wrote, but his name, he has a real name, and it's Scrat. Scrat. My favorite fact about Scrat is there was once a Scrat balloon in the Macy's Day Parade, and it was Scrat was one balloon, and then the acorn was separate because he couldn't, he can't catch the acorn, so they had to be separate. But they DreamWorks didn't renew paying Macy's, so they ditched Scrat, but they kept the acorn. So now every year there's just an acorn by itself in the parade, and it's my favorite balloon every year because it's ridiculous. All right, question. No, look out for that November. You'll definitely remember that I said this. All right, from unfortunate gym class menstruation to her mom's Christian indoctrination. This girl's bullied and sad, but don't make her mad, or she'll get psychic retaliation. Who am I talking about? Once again, from unfortunate gym class menstruation to her mom's Christian indoctrination. This girl's bullied and sad, but don't make her mad, or she'll get psychic retaliation. Alrighty then. Time is just about up for this one. Let me lock that in. Timer didn't work. Let's see. Hang on one second. What is happening? It's being silly again. I am running also, you don't need to know this, but I am running a very old version of the website, of the gameplay website. I don't think it's been changed in these 5 years. So I might need to get it updated. That might be part of what's going on. Okay. So who am I talking about here? I'm talking about Carrie. Carrie White is Carrie White's her full name. Carrie is perfectly acceptable. Everyone's doing solidly so far. Ay. Why doesn't this want to work? All right. I'll keep rolling. One sec, gang. Let me see what I can do about this issue. All right. I think I'm back up. I'll work out these issues by next week, I hope. All right. Your next question. There once was a guy from New Jersey made to work on his day off. Have mercy. Stuck in dead-end professions, battling Gen X depression. Then his wife and he both die in part 3. Who is that character? Looking for the character, not the movie. There once was a guy from New Jersey made to work on his day off. Have mercy. Stuck in dead-end professions, battling Gen X depression. Then his wife and he both die in part 3. Also catching up on the chat. Thank you for the this was fun. This was a fun one to write. Sorry, I'm behind on the chat because of the technical issues. Alrighty. Time is up. All right. I did someone put in their answer that they didn't get credit for Carrie. I went back and rescored that, so it should work. You should get your points now. All right. So the movie we're talking about here, the movie series actually, is Clerks, and it's Dante. Dante Hicks is he's not even supposed to be there today. And then 3, man, they really pile on the misery on Dante in the 3rd movie. All right, question number 7. This guy battled real nasty ghoulies through 1 TV show and 3 movies. Lost his friends and his hand, trapped in medieval lands, but at least he can still keep it groovy. Once again, this guy battled real nasty ghoulies through 1 TV show and 3 movies. Lost his friends and his hand, singular, trapped in medieval lands, but at least he can still keep it groovy. Who am I talking about? All right, this guy, he battled the ghoulies I'm talking about here is the Evil Dead, the Deadites. He lost his hand. He went to medieval England. It's Ash. Ash Williams is his name. All right, and our final limerick of this puzzle round. It started one bleak Christmas Eve, then again the next year. Who'd believe? He stopped bombs in New York, guarded lame hacker dorks, but his wife, in the end, she did leave. Once again, it started one bleak Christmas Eve, then again the next year. Who'd believe? He stopped bombs in New York, guarded lame hacker dorks, but his wife, in the end, she did leave. All right, gang, time is just about up for this one. Who is that character? He's had a couple of Christmas misadventures. He's had 5 misadventures. One of them really was a misadventure because it sucked really bad. It's John McClane. John McClane from Die Hard. All right, so that is the end of the puzzle round. Hope you had fun with that one. Let's keep it rolling straight into our double points round. The double points round, if you haven't played, I think we might have some new players. It's all multiple choice. Each question has 2 correct answers, each worth 1 point. But there's also in the mix, there is an incorrect decoy answer, which will wipe you out to 0. It'll negate the other one if you pick the decoy one. So if you don't want to risk it, you do not have to make 2 choices. You can just pick the one that you know for sure and collect 1 point. You can be strategic about it. But if you want to roll the dice, gamble, go for it. Or if you know it for sure, go for the 2. All right. So here it is. Your double points round is 13th times the charm. It's all about the 13th entry in one way, shape, or form. Right? Here's your first question. Which 2 superheroes made their MCU debut in the 13th movie in the Infinity Saga, Captain America Civil War? Your options are Black Panther, Spider-Man, and Scarlet Witch. 2 of those made their MCU debut in can't stop rhyming after the limericks in Civil War. Which 2 were they? All right, time is just about up for this one. The 2, one of them debuted, I think, 1 movie earlier in the Age of Ultron, but Black Panther and Spider-Man, more Spider-Man in this game. Good, everybody who submitted got both of them right. Nice job. Question number 2 is a Trek question, baby. With Star Trek Beyond, Scotty actor Simon Pegg joined which 2 actors as the 3rd cast member to co-write a Trek screenplay? Is it Jonathan Frakes, Leonard Nimoy, William Shatner? Those are your 3. So Simon Pegg co-wrote Star Trek Beyond, the 13th Star Trek movie. Which other 2 Trek actors have a writing credit on one of the screenplays? All right. So 2 of these guys, all of these guys directed Frakes' Riker, and they all directed at least 1, but the only 2, but Frakes directed 2, but he never wrote. Shatner actually co-wrote, Nimoy co-wrote. This one was very tricky, and people fell into it because Frakes was very involved on the creative side, but he did not actually have a writing credit on any of those Next Generation movies, which shocked me when I looked this up. But Shatner, he fully is responsible for Star Trek V. He wrote it and he directed it. All right. This one's a little easier than the last one. Star Wars is due to hit the 13 film club in 2026 when a movie with which 2 characters' names in the title hits theaters. Your options are The Mandalorian, which I misspelled, Ahsoka, and Grogu. Which 2 are going to be in the title of a movie next year, the 13th Star Wars film? There's the 9 proper movies, the episodes, Rogue One, Solo, and Clone Wars. The Clone Wars cash grab movie. All right, so which two characters are going to be in the title? They're the titular characters. It's going to be all about them. It's going to be The Mandalorian and Grogu. The Mandalorian and Grogu is going to be the name of that movie that's coming out next year. All right, question number 4. The theme song for the 13th James Bond movie was not titled Octopussy, but instead called All Time High, because one thing called Octopussy is more than enough. Which Bond actors are the only two whose theme song titles and movie titles matched for each of their outings? All right, so every movie they were in, the song was the same name, right? Like Live and Let Die or From Russia with Love, right? The song titles matched up for every one of their outings. Daniel Craig, Pierce Brosnan, Timothy Dalton were the only two. Yeah, because for the most part, Connery had them match up, but there was no song called Dr. No. So that one doesn't match up. All right, time is up for this one. All right, so this one was, I guess, a little tricky because the incorrect answer, actually, he was in 5 movies, and 3 of them the song title does not match up. Daniel Craig, there's not, the Casino Royale song is called it's called You Know My Name. Quantum of Solace is something else. What the hell is that one called? And Spectre is called The Writings on the Wall. But Pierce Brosnan, GoldenEye, The World Is Not Enough, Die Another Day, and the 2 Dalton movies as well. All right, question number 5. The Batman 2022 marked Baker's dozen Caped Crusader films, as well as the 4th live-action big screen appearance for which 2 members of the Rogues Gallery? The Penguin, the Joker, Catwoman. So after the Batman came out, which 2 of these villains have 4 live action appearances on a theatrically released film? All right, there we go. Time is just about up. Okay, so this one was a bit of a trick question because one of them is not so prominent in the Pattinson movie, but the Joker is in it. Barry Keoghan is the Joker, not just in that deleted scene, but he does show up. But there's only been 3 big screen Penguins: Burgess Meredith, Danny DeVito, and Colin Farrell in that movie. So that one was tricky. I'm sorry, I don't like to be tricky, but some teams got both. All right, and Catwoman, of course. All right, question number 6. The 13th Halloween film, Halloween Ends, capped off a second continuity reset centered around a return from Jamie Lee Curtis. Which other 2 films made up her previous reboot of the franchise in the 90s and 2000s? So they've tried twice to reboot just bring Laurie back and forget other movies. The first time they brought her back, what were those 2 movies that she was in? Halloween H2O, Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers, Halloween Resurrection. What were those 2 movies? The first reboot. The one of these she's actually in, and one she's like in for like 10 seconds. And they kill her off. Sorry, we're going past the 1 hour mark, but not by, we're not, it won't be by much. We'll work out these tech issues. 13, man. It's playing with fire, with luck, you know. I'm inviting some gremlins in by leaning so heavily on the 13 stuff. All right, so it's Halloween H2O, which most people got, and the other that's forget this. That's incorrect. It's Halloween Resurrection and Halloween H2O. Halloween Resurrection and Halloween H2O. I deleted the wrong one. This right here is incorrect. It's the wrong one. Curse of Michael Myers is like part 6, I want to say. Halloween H2O is the 7th one. All right, question number 7. Which 2 movies immediately preceded and followed the 13th X-Men movie, The New Mutants? Your options are X-Men Dark Phoenix, Deadpool and Wolverine, and Logan. Which 2... and yes, I know Deadpool and Wolverine is in the MCU also, but it's still in that same continuity too. So which 2 were on the other side of the 13th X-Men movie, New Mutants? All right, time is just about up for this one. So New Mutants came out in 2020. Right before it was X-Men Dark Phoenix. And then the next one was not until Deadpool and Wolverine. Logan is from, it's already 8 years old, if you can believe it. It's from 2017. All right, and our last question of this round. This one... this was harder than I thought also, and we're ending on a very hard one. What 2 giant robotic characters, one of whom was formerly a space reptile, appear alongside the titular kaijus in Toho's 13th monster outing, Godzilla vs. Megalon? You've got Rodan, Jet Jaguar, and Gigan. 2 of them are robots. One of them is not. So pick the robot characters. All right, so this one was tough. So the one that's not is Rodan. Rodan is a like a big pterodactyl thing, and Gigan and Jet Jaguar is like a humanoid robot. All right, let's take a look at our scores here before we head into the post-credits blitz. Our final set of questions. We've got trivia. Gas with 14, Looney Tunes with 20, Shenanigans Back with 22, Powder with 26, Stallone and Avis and Bobo with 27, Chris the Curator with 28, Oslo with 31, Sterling Cooper 32, Hans Still Solo with 34, and Marley's Chains with 40. All right, so that brings us to the post-credits blitz. And again, if you've not played this before, the way this works is you've got you've got 3 sets of questions. An easier one for 1 point and a harder one for 2 points. You don't have to answer both. You pick which one you want to answer. And if you get that right, you'll get that amount of points. So I couldn't talk about 13 movies without talking about Friday the 13th. So this last round is going to be all about the Friday the 13th series. All right, question number 1. Name the metaphysical location where Jason goes in the title of Friday the 13th, Part 9. For 1 point, or name the real island where Jason goes in the title of Friday the 13th, Part 8. That's worth 2. Starting off easier. So even the 2-pointers a little on the easier side. All right. So in part 9, Jason, it's actually just it's not even called Friday the 13th. It's just called Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. So he goes to hell, but one movie earlier, although as someone pointed out, he mostly just goes on a boat. He goes to Manhattan. He takes Manhattan specifically. Jason takes Manhattan. And then he dies in the sewer because they've apparently, and I didn't know this, I've lived in the New York area my whole life. They flushed the sewers with acid at midnight. And so sorry about that, Jason. All right. Number 2, name the camp, the actual name of the camp where the majority of the Friday the 13th series takes place. Not the real life camp, but what it's called in the movie series. Or for 2, give the gruesome nickname that the camp is given. For 1 point, name the real place. Not the real, again, I'm misphrasing that. Not the real place, but what it's actually called in the continuity of the series. But also for 2, you can name its nickname. It has a gruesome nickname that people call it. All right. So what is it called? It is actually called, it also takes place in New Jersey, canonically, I believe. It's Camp Crystal Lake, or the locals call the lake Camp Blood, because of all the murders, all of those murders that happen. All right. And your final set of questions, name the star of a famous 80s dancing movie who got stabbed through the neck with a knife in the original Friday the 13th for 1 point, or name the star of a famous 80s time travel movie who got stabbed in the eye with a corkscrew in Friday the 13th, the final chapter. That's worth 2. So I'm looking for the names of the actors. Give me the names of the actors on this one. So far, one team's got the 2-pointer. All right, time is up for this one. So the famous dancing movie from the 80s that I'm talking about is Footloose, because I think a lot of people know. A few teams actually got the 2-pointer at the end there. Kevin Bacon gets stabbed through the neck in the first movie, and the time travel movie I'm talking about is Back to the Future, and it's Crispin Glover. Crispin Glover gets a corkscrew to the eye in Friday the 13th, the final chapter. All right, so that brings us to the end. It's the end of the game. We've wrapped up our first game of season 13. All right, let's take a look at our scores and standings here. Where everybody ended up. Luna Tunes with 22, Shenanigans back with 25, Stallone in the Backyard with 28, Avis and Bobo with 29, Chris the Curator with 31, Powder with 32, Sterling Cooper with 34, Oslo Condition with 35, Hans Still Solo with 40, and Marley's Chains with a strong game to start the season with 45. They are your winners. All right. So thank you so much for sticking through tonight's game, coming back. Hope you had a good time. And thank you for sitting through figuring out while I figure out the tech issues. I'll try to sort that out by next week. Have a great one, everybody. And I will see you next week for game 2 of season 13. McClunky, everybody.